Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to our final SmackDown pay-per-view before Survivor Series, before we head into our 6-week period, where we just generally do a lot of tournaments. We have a Cruiserweight Classic, Tag Team Invitational, Mae Young Classic, and the World Grand Prix, just to name a few. We're really starting to plant the seeds, as I say, towards the Rumble season, towards Mania season. You know, some wrestlers that you wouldn't expect getting a push or getting an opportunity here. It is that kind of downtime, I feel, with WWE. They always take a risk, the kind of October through to February kind of stage, and then you kind of see your true main eventers shine the rest of the year. So I'm not going to bore you to tears with that. I'm just going to jump straight into the show, explain it as we go along. We're on the various pay-per-view platforms because we had the last show on the network, and we're based in the US since SmackDown is actively shown in the US of A. So let's kick on. We start off with a pre-show match in front of 50,000 people at the Rice Eccles Stadium, and it was a decent pre-show match which saw Flamita defeat Roderick Strong, Gran Metalik, Sami Callihan, TJP, and King Neville in 11:52 when Flamita defeated TJP with a 450 splash. B-71, Sami Callihan has a gimmick that's getting stale. Good performances, I feel, from Roderick Strong and King Neville. Outstanding performance from Gran Metalik. But it's time we give Flamita his push, so he'll get an opportunity here. And I felt like, Neville is going to have the overness to put people over. So it's a shame we've had to do that. A few negatives. Booking decisions got us a negative as well. You can see there. Gran Metalik had to be kept strong, but Neville was happy. So fair play to him for putting people over. So we start the show hyping up our main event again. It's the SmackDown. It's going to be Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Ambrose's last opportunity to reclaim his World Heavyweight Championship. This feud's been on for months now. You could even say seeds were planted at the Royal Rumble before Roman get injured. But yeah, A90 show off to a strong start. Crowd hotter storyline. While losing heat, does advance. Opening contest of the night was about with great wrestling and good heat, and it saw Tommaso Ciampa defeat Ricochet in 14:46 by pinfall, illegally using the ropes for leverage. Tommaso Ciampa makes his 8th defence of the Cruiserweight title, so he's really taken the title and just been a dominant champion, although cheating to win a few times. B77 is not too bad considering the time constraints and the no storyline attached to it. They got the crowd hotter too. Good performances over 80. Ciampa improves his Rumble skills. And yeah, again, if we had a storyline, this would probably be close to 90, I'd imagine. So fair play to Ricochet and Tommaso. And after the matchup, just a promo from Ciampa saying, really, is there anyone out there that is going to threaten to challenge me? I'm going to prove how dominant I am, not only being the reigning champion, but also the winner of the Cruiserweight Classic. So we plug in there for the future episode, it'll be the Cruiserweight Classic. So P plus 86. Next up, just an 8-man tag to get some people on the show and try and help them get some overness and good exposure. And it was about that had some decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. And it was the teams of the Authors of Pain and the Masters of Wrestling. So Akam, Razar, Chris Hero and Cesaro beating the team of Samir and Sunil Singh and Luke Gallows and Carol Anderson in 12:11 when Razar defeated Sunil. So Chris Hero head and shoulders above everyone else in terms of in-ring performance. A B-75 is okay. Cesaro off his game. You can see in terms of in-ring performances, Akam's getting there. Razar were continuing to build up. Yeah, got a few negatives in there, but it's mid-card, lower mid-card, and we do have to freshen and give depth to our tag division, especially because of how high a standard it is on SmackDown. So if we get any of these teams up there as well, I'll certainly be delighted. Few negatives as to be expected. Cesaro with quite a lot, which was worrying. Next up, a promo from Chad Gable. He's going to take on Drew McIntyre, and yeah, just really promoting his really prospects in this matchup. Just said he's ready to take on any comers going forward, and he's going to be the winner today. Just really looking to drop a Chad Gable push like I have done with Jason Jordan. So could this be the time for him? Remains to be seen. Good promo though, A90, and a gimmick that's getting stale, so maybe we need something new for Gable. The match itself, great wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd, and it's a shock win for Gable in 11:31. Disappointingly, just a B-76, but again, it was to get these guys both on the card. Chad Gable has a gimmicks against Tails, we've mentioned. Drew with a better performance, but yeah, if they had a bit more time and a storyline, we could be looking at a high plus there. Next up, AJ Styles is just sick of not being on the card, so another match was put together at the last minute to get people on, and he says he'll take on anyone tonight. So Seth Rollins will accept the open challenge because he doesn't have a match. So yeah, we've got a random Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles match at an A90 promo, because obviously AJ's ring skills are not as good as they used to be, and that is clearly showing with a B80. But about that great wrestling and good heat. Other way about, sorry, but Seth Rollins defeats AJ with Phoenix Splash in 12:29. It keeps Seth looking strong. AJ, I suppose, will drop down the card as his age continues to take a toll on his body. But a B80, AJ's got a gimmick getting stale, so I maybe need to check that as well. Seth win 89, AJ disappointingly with a 71, but limited match, 12 minutes, and it's already declining physical ability, stamina. For AJ, we also made a storytelling match just to predict the phenomenal AJ Styles, or less than phenomenal these days because of how bad declining physical ability has hit him. Next up, we got a promo from Kofi, just really saying, he's fitted up, he's got a New Day behind him, and he's going to go on to become, a future champion around here. He's also going to show, just how damn good he is and how the New Day holding him back. So 889, good promo from Kofi Kingston. He's also got declining physical ability, so we are really having to usher in a new guard on SmackDown. But he was involved in a fatal 4-way matchup. It was about that good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. And Kofi defeated Matt Riddle, Jake Hager, and Kenny Omega in a fatal 4-way match in 14:57, where he defeated Kenny Omega, the Trouble in Paradise. A B80, both Omega and Riddle were off their game. Hopefully the best performance win 82. The MMA storyline between Riddle and Hager gained a bit of heat. That's kind of fizzled out a little bit, if I'm being honest. I know I was going to bring Jack Swagger back as an amazing, dominant heel, but yeah, it's just kind of fizzled and he's in real position for him on the SmackDown card. But yeah, does its job. A B80, Kofi picking up some more momentum. This does lead to a segment which has Shane McMahon saying to Kenny, you've had enough opportunities here, and yeah, you're done, we don't want you on SmackDown, you're gone. So it's a B77. Shane has a user character, so it's not too bad, but yeah, I'm not firing Kenny, he's just going to move to Raw, we'll send him over to Raw, there's a big plan for him on Raw, I'll let you guys figure out what you think that could be, and we'll probably draft someone over from SmackDown, from Raw, to SmackDown to kind of create an opportunity and a new storyline over here. So just a quick trade that will happen. Kenny to Raw, who's going to come to SmackDown Live. As of now, I have a rough idea who I think it's going to be, but that may change. Next up, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, another promo on the Usos. This feud has just been absolutely ridiculous. If you've saw my Twitter, you'll have saw how over the Usos are now. It's actually quite frightening. But yeah, another match up here, a couple of tag teams. Fatal 4-way it's going to be, but yeah, I'm just intrigued to see how that goes down. So they're just obviously saying they're still the dominant tag team in the company, and that is an A91. And yeah, the match was absolutely stellar. So we added in this time Big E and Woods, but the outcome remains the same. Superb wrestling match, good heat. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeat Big E and Xavier, the Usos and Bad Influence in 22:57. When Sami defeated Big E with the Hellraiser kick. KO and Sami Zayn make the 7th defense of their WWE Tag Team titles. At this rate, I don't want to ever make them leave the tag division because the matches they're bringing are just insane. A94, you can see there, Sami's got 95, KO's got 100, and they're not even getting the great chemistry boosts the likes of the Usos and Daniels and Kazarian are getting, or Bad Influence are getting. You can see there, they're getting 95, 100. The Usos get a 97 and a 100 rating as well. So I'm really hoping that can bring the best out of possibly Big E and Xavier as well. But overall, I'm happy with that. Few negatives, declining physical abilities, announcing a taker. But yeah, overall, pretty positive. Next up, we've got a promo. It's Baron Corbin on the Velveteen Dream. This is a nice wee feud we started. Corbin was getting pissed off and not getting used, and how people at Velveteen Dream were coming out of nowhere and getting opportunities. So he came down and basically beat the shit out of the Velveteen Dream, which led to this match for the Intercontinental Champion. Of course, Corbin, a former World Champion in his own right. So here comes the Darkness storyline. Advances. Corbin came across as good. That was an A91. Intrigued to see how this match does with psychology. So here we go. Drumroll, please. Again, we gave Velveteen Dream a promo because any mic time for him is glorious. He's just been an absolute star since we gave him an opportunity. So he gets the 91 as well. He's pretty much going to be a main eventer until TEW 2019 or 20 or whatever. I'm not going to lie, he's going to be a mainstay going forward. He's so good in this save. The match itself, exceptional. And Velveteen Dream defeats Baron Corbin in 20 minutes and 3 by pinfall with a quick roll up, making the second defence of the IC title. So keeping the IC title looking very strong. Good prestige. A90, both guys with over 90 performances, so that's good to see. Velveteen 92, Baron Corbin 94, which is good considering Corbin hasn't really been used recently. And yeah, no negatives at all there. So psychology wasn't an issue. Pretty happy with that because it's not a massively built up storyline. It's maybe only had 1 or 2 episodes of SmackDown Live. And this leads us to our main event, a Roman Reigns promo. Just really going on about the history between him and Dean. He's going to end Dean Ambrose's hopes and just show that he is the man to carry this company or brand going forward. And that was an A92. Match itself, sensational wrestling and fantastic heat. Roman Reigns defeats Dean Ambrose in 24-42 by pinfall, making the second defence of the World Heavyweight title. A93. Taker was weak at announcing, both guys with a solid 95 performance. This advanced the storyline, but at the same time it ended it. No more Dean Ambrose in the title picture. He'll drop down to upper mid-card or float about with other guys that aren't doing anything. But proves his flying skills. Negatives. Just Taker's commentary, you can see their high prestige of the title is always good to see. And how do we end the show? With our new #1 contender. Roman Reigns is celebrating his win in the ring when Kofi Kingston, a heel Kofi Kingston, comes in and hits Trouble in Paradise and then just beats the crap out of Roman to signal he's going to be a future champion. So A91, Roman's getting Betty's gimmick, but his performance was fantastic. And overall, this pay-per-view no mercy. A92, increasing our popularity in 11 regions. So overall, weakest segment on the show was Chad Gable against Drew, which would have been spectacular. Sorry to lie, it was the 8-man tag. But again, that's building people up. But overall, a solid show. And yeah, a couple of storylines if we had in for the Cruiserweight title, for Gable and Drew, for Styles and Rollins. This could have been stellar. But A92 is still obviously a great pay-per-view. We know which main eventers work, but it's cool to phase in the likes of Velveteen Dream, to give Baron Corbin a chance, to give Kofi a chance. You know, the likes that Big E and Xavier can all be included in matches that are getting A-rated as well. So we know what works, and as I say, we'll continue to do that going forward. I think we'll give Kofi the bigs up. We'll probably stick to Roman and Dean just to keep them happy. I always stick to those guys. I know people are unhappy. In fact, actually, just put Cesaro as one because I know he was unhappy. But usually just give them money because we've got that much money in the bank. If you heard that for Vince McMahon, you'd be like, what? Really? But Kofi's pleased, Roman's pleased, and Cesaro is pleased as well. So that's going to take us into the 3rd week of October, which I believe links us into the Cruiserweight Classic. So we'll have 1 episode of Raw, SmackDown, and the Women's Revolution to book before we get to that. Anything here that really TNA are interested in Ashley Flair? Charlotte's contract's up, so I have to kind of offer her a new deal. That's already been done. Let me just double check. Yeah, so she's got an offer from us. TNA has already been knocked back, so that's fine. Look how over she is at 34, so we need to start jobbing her, put some other women over, because obviously they tend to peak a lot quicker. Decline a lot quicker than the men. So Dustin Rhodes wants to come up from development. Okay. Don't really know what to do with him. He's 51 now. We'll find something for Goldust probably. Nia Jax to get a new contract, that's fine. We should probably give her one. Well, she has 37. Let's look at her popularity over time. And it's never really fluctuated, it's always been at the 56, 55 C- range, so I might let her go. She's been a former Women's Champion in NXT, she was a former SmackDown Women's Champion. 277 in last year's Power 500, but it's 37, that's the issue. I feel as a female, that's when they start phasing out. We'll see, might give her an opportunity. Match yesterday, you can see there, she's not really had many matches at all until we done the brand split. She started getting a couple more. Well, that's absolute bull. She's had one match against Charlotte. It might be time for Nia to go because I don't really have anything for her. And big matches she's been in. Obviously, the match up against Becky and Toni Storm with Sasha Banks was probably her best match. Good match with Charlotte on pay-per-view. But that aside, mostly been matches where I've been multi-man intergender, so that's interesting. But apart from that, TNA have dropped out, that's cool. 4.40 for the pay-per-view. 6k No Mercy drug tests. Rizar needs to sell. And yeah, Roman doesn't like Roddy either. So you see that a few people have got morale issues, they can be easily fixed. Most of the people that need their gimmick changed, they're all staff, road agents or referees or whatever, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, a few people unhappy. Doug Williams' enhancement. Apollo have just jobbed out. Eddie Edwards, I really have nothing until I put the Wolves back together, which should be happening shortly to increase our tag division on Raw. Just try to keep that balance between having a stacked tag division but having people who put people over. And Triple H, well, he's like an authority figure I just don't use, so I'll probably give him like a 6-month hiatus. Which reminds me, before I forget, so we can confirm I've definitely done it. John Cena, obviously at the last pay-per-view attacked by Killian Dane, and with his 90 overness, let's send Cena away. In fact, it's the rank screen to do it in. I would have to do it in this one. I think by now I'd know this. I've only played the game like for nearly what, two years since it came out. So John Cena, give time off, and October, November, December to January. John Boy, we'll see you at the Rumble. So it does take somebody away, but gives opportunities on Raw. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. If we just quickly go to schedule, you'll see what is coming up. But just scroll right down. We have Survivor Series, the next pay-per-view, which is the 4th week in November, so plenty of time until then. But we will have the Cruiserweight Classic on the 3rd week of October, so that'll be coming up next. And I believe after that is probably going to be the Mae Young Classic or the Tag Team Invitational, one of the two. And then we'll have the likes of the other one and the World Grand Prix the following weeks. In fact, if I just go to titles, it should tell me here, Mae Young Classic, November. Where are we? Tag Team Invitational, October, so the Tag Team Invitational. Obviously, it'll be new champions there because the DMG aren't with us anymore, and Ciampa and Gargano have split up. And your Cruiserweight Classic, can King Neville make it 3 in a row, or will Ciampa prove his worth? So that'll be the next show you'll see, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, let me know. Give us a wee thumbs up in any comments, and who you think will win the Cruiserweight Classic and other competitions, let us know. And as always, yeah, just keep enjoying the TEW, guys. Let us know how your saves are going, and I'll catch you next time for Cruiserweight Classic. Take it easy. See you soon. Bye bye.